Hello and welcome to the Coming Conflict today on July 18th, 2024. My name is Tom, of course, and I got my MAGA hat on. Because why not? Donald Trump took a bullet for us. We can wear a hat for him. I actually wore it out to Walmart today, and surprisingly, it didn't get any bad looks here in New Jersey. Today, we're going to be talking about what everybody's talking about, which is... Wait, hold on one second. Sorry, give me 1 second. Let me fix my Streamlabs. Sorry. Oh, man. It's always something. Sorry about this. There we go. All right. So today we're going to be talking about the fact that apparently Joe Biden said the other day that he would drop out of the race if doctors said that there was something wrong with him. Then magically he gets COVID, whatever that means. And now it appears the situation is escalating fast in the Democratic Party Central this morning. Axios reports that President Biden may decide to drop out of the presidential race as soon as this weekend, according to several top Democrats who believe the rising pressure will persuade the incumbent. The 81-year-old president, now self-isolating with COVID, remains publicly dug in, but privately he's resigned to mounting pressure, bad polls, and an untenable scrutiny, making it impossible to continue his campaign, the Democrats tell us. Now, this is COVID that he's talking about in 2024. Joy Reid says, MSNBC's Joy Reid compares Biden getting COVID to Trump getting shot, basically saying that if Biden survives COVID, that's the same thing as Trump surviving a bullet because Biden's old and COVID kills old people. Now, let me give you my conspiracy theory here and just hear me out. They're saying right now that he's isolating with COVID, right? He's going back into his basement, same crap as last time. However, what if they spin this into a vaccine-related injury? What if they say that COVID vaccines were what gave Biden his neurological issues? Because apparently that seems to be a common side effect with these vaccines. If they do that, their lunatic Democratic base will absolutely fall for it. They will turn against the vaccines, and then they will pin the vaccines on Trump. Because people have been critical of Trump for the vaccines, myself included. You know, we're not all cult members, the people that like Donald Trump. So what if they do that? That's my biggest concern here, is they're going to flip this into a vaccine-related injury. They're going to take Biden off the stage. They're going to replace him with Kamala. And then Trump is going to be left having to defend his vaccine that period. He's going to be left having to defend that period because it's been largely unaddressed this election cycle. And it might be one of Donald Trump's only weaknesses, especially within his own base. On top of that, we have federal prosecutors begin dropping January 6th obstruction charges after the Supreme Court ruling. So it seems like the losses are just mounting for the Biden regime and the Democrats as a whole. Things could not be going worse for them. And it's sad. It's sad that Donald Trump had to literally get shot and almost killed, and then a fireman loses his life protecting his family, in order for us to get to the point where people realize just how screwed up this situation is with Biden in the White House. For people to realize just how at risk we are as a nation and as a people, as Americans. Our entire past, present, and history is at stake right now because we have communists, Marxists in the White House. That's what Biden and his regime are. And we can see here this video. It's sad. My wife was actually just in here watching this, saying how sad it is. But if you look, Biden has difficulty ascending the stairs of Air Force One as he heads back to Delaware after canceling campaign events in Las Vegas. Mr. President, how do you feel? How do you feel? Good. I feel good. And then if you just watch, he slowly stammers up the stairs. And it's, do you have symptoms? Someone asks. Sorry, I'm using Rumble Studio right now, so I'm not sure how to pipe the Rumble Studio along with OBS, and I'm not sure how to get the desktop audio into Rumble Studio. That's why I don't have my intro music. But yeah, it's clear. It's clear. We even have Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer. They're all calling for Biden to step down. We have Alien Addict here saying, are they going to take him out and say it was the vid in 2024? I responded to this. No, the vax is what they will blame. Then the mindless Dem base will turn on the vax and in turn Trump. And I think that's a big possibility that people really need to be watching out for. Because what else do they have? They have nothing else to run on. The economy is on the edge of the verge of utter collapse. People do not feel secure in their wealth and in their family. They're trying to mutilate children. I mean, they're just doing the most terrible things to this country and to our fellow countrymen. What do they have to run on? Killing babies, abortion? I guess so, but I don't think that's going to overcome the wave that Donald Trump is riding right now. See, I thought this one was interesting. So Kim Cheadle, the Secret Service boss, was apparently at the RNC over the past few days. Secret Service boss Kimberly Cheadle hides behind her own agents as furious U.S. senators chase her down at RNC over Trump shooting. And this is Barrasso, Senator Barrasso. He says, you put him within less than an inch of his life, Barrasso yelled at Cheadle. So resignation or full explanation. So it's definitely bad when even the Senate, which is much more establishment, much more deep state, when you have senators chasing down the Secret Service head that allowed this to happen to Trump. And I say allow, but I feel like at this point, we're starting to get to the point where it's obvious that it was intentional. It was intentional. Somebody knew this was going to happen and they allowed it, or somebody made this happen and then everybody else stood down. Let it happen on purpose, made it happen on purpose, that old thing. But I think they made it happen on purpose because we have this other very strange piece of news that I'm sure a lot of you have already heard. But if you haven't, this is from Health Ranger on Twitter. The Austin private wealth company that reportedly shorted 12 million shares of Donald J. Trump, or DJT, with a filing date of July 12th, made a huge bet that Trump's business value would plummet. Guess who this company donates to? Here are just a few of from their website: ACLU, ADL, Shalom Austin Jewish Community Center, Camp Young Judea, Congregation Beth Israel, Austin Jewish Academy, Hadassah. So Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, he wants to put it on the Jews. He's one of those types of people. I don't think it was the Jews. I think it was the deep state. And there's Jewish in the deep state, and there's all kinds of members of the deep state, and there's all kinds of deep states all over the world. I don't think it was the Jews, though. But basically, this private wealth company, they bet a lot of money that DJT, which is the holding company or the stock ticker for Truth Social, would collapse one day before the attempted assassination. If you guys remember, this happened during 9/11. Some entity put a huge bet that the airlines would collapse, I think about a few days before 9/11 happened. They did an investigation. It was all over the news. People were talking about it. They said this person must be brought to justice. They had insider information. They knew this was going to happen. And instead of alerting authorities, they bet on the airlines failing. I highly doubt we're going to get that level of outrage over this one. New exclusive. This is from DC Drano. Video shows the shooter walking around by himself, looking up at rooftops near Trump. How was he not detained, especially after getting caught with a rangefinder? So again, if you don't know this dude, I'm not going to say his name. I think they're calling Retardy Oswald. I like that, Retardy Oswald. Retardy Oswald got caught with a rangefinder. I wish I would have brought one over here to show you what it is. But a rangefinder is like a binocular, meaning, one lens you look through, and it has a laser. And once you're looking at your target, you click a button and it tells you how many feet or yards between you and the target. So you can line up you can adjust your shot accordingly. His might have had, like a wind speed meter or whatever, but it's for distance. So Secret Service knew that he had this rangefinder with him, which is weird to bring to a Trump rally. Why would you have a rangefinder? They let him, they flagged him. They lost track of him. He manages to find a ladder, knows that the building he's climbing on top of has nobody on top of it, get himself into position, get spotted, get encountered by another police officer. The police officer then backs down, doesn't radio it in, doesn't fire any shots into the ground to warn the crowd or warn the other law enforcement. Then he managed to get several shots off at Trump before the counter snipers returned fire, ultimately killing him. Doesn't make any sense. And lastly, this is a picture going around trying to say that the shooter was trans. Apparently, it's been confirmed that this is not true. And this is where I want to end. This is about how, okay, so when something like this happens, there's the establishment story, the verified checkmark story that goes out. Then you have what the dark journalist calls dark journalism, the story, the real story, the story underneath, the conspiracy, the things that they don't want you to know, the lies, the fallacies, all the story within the story, the real truth that the mainstream media is trying to cover up. So then once that real story starts to come out, they start to release junk conspiracy. The junk conspiracy gets so crazy and so out of control. And there are people that, I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not that type of conspiracy theorist that just gloms onto anything because I don't believe the mainstream narrative. Like, I don't believe the earth is flat just because NASA lies to us. You know what I mean? So once the true story starts to come out and it starts to gain momentum over the official narrative, they start to see disinformation and extremely out of control conspiracies so as to discredit the real story and make everybody feel so stupid and feel like they got hoaxed that they go back to the mainstream narrative. That's how this works. And this is part of that. They want everybody to start calling the shooter a tranny. They want to change the narrative away from the fact that the Secret Service or someone in our government or a foreign government in coordination with our government tried to kill Donald Trump into, oh, well, the shooter was a tranny, and now this is the fourth or fifth tranny in so many months that's gone on a shooting spree. So you guys need to be very, very vigilant about this type of stuff because this is what's coming now. They're going to be feeding us this bullcrap narrative in order to distract everybody from the real information that everybody's uncovering. So just stay true to the real target. Don't get sidetracked on this stuff. But before I wrap up, I just want to say sorry about the stream yesterday. I got good news about a new job that I got. Was just too sidetracked. I had to stop, so I deleted the video. And I know this one isn't exactly great, but I just definitely want to put something up. If you could, guys, follow me on X/Twitter at Coming Conflict, link down in the description. And remember, in the information war, knowledge is power, but awareness is victory. God bless. I will talk to you guys soon.